Hello listeners and welcome back to the MPK podcast with myself Thomas
and myself Stephen. What have we got today, Thomas?
Okay, well today's podcast we are now on episode 66 and it's a post-Barcelona podcast. So basically we're going to review what went on at Barcelona, basically what's been going on, and we're just going to summarise some bits and pieces, to be honest.
We were up the wall last week as well, so if you usually tune in on a Sunday afternoon expecting for a new episode, we apologise. It was Easter weekend, wasn't it?
And we had a really lovely weekend off, didn't we?
Yeah, it was great.
Did we have 4 days?
4 days.
So for all you people who were ready and listening, unfortunately we were enjoying our 4 days off.
Yeah.
So really apologise for that, but there's no story that we're going to give you. It's just the truth is we was on holiday.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks anyway.
Those 4 days and Christmas Day, they're the 5 days that you let us have off each year. So.
Yeah, and we are still calling it Easter holiday. We're not going to change it to spring break because it's not spring break, it's Easter. Yeah, so that's when you get your Easter eggs on Easter Day.
Even though it was in March.
Yeah, so for all you people who do listen and know what I'm talking about, basically society deems that we're not allowed to use the terminology of Easter holidays and we've got to change it to spring because some people may find that offensive. Well, if you find that offensive, fuck you, because I'm not bothered. It's Easter, it always will be Easter, and that's the end of that rant.
Okay.
But we did enjoy our holidays, didn't we, Steve?
Yeah, it was a lovely 4 days off. The weather wasn't quite the best in the UK.
It was absolutely terrible, wasn't it?
Friday was alright, but Saturday, Sunday, Monday was
Okay, well let's get to the point. Post-Barcelona, thoughts and feelings from the show. What's your thoughts and feelings from the show, Stephen?
Well, as you all know, or as the people that listen every week now, I was really excited about the scientific talks. Got myself geared up, split off from the pack, and said, "See you later, boys. I'm off to do some science." Yeah. And got into the auditorium, thought, a little bit empty here. I thought more people would be interested in the scientific principles of growing hydroponically. I sit down, get myself all nice and relaxed, and start listening. And there's about 3 fellas up on stage, and give me ears a little pop. I can't quite listen. What they saying? And then it dawned on me they were all fucking speaking Spanish.
Hola.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
Muy bien, gracias.
I didn't understand a word they were saying. It's hard enough trying to understand the science of hydroponics as it is.
So you struggled to interpret what they were actually talking about?
Yeah, hydroponica. That's what I knew they were talking about hydroponics. I just didn't know what it was. I went outside to try and get the translated earpieces. They wanted me passport. I said, fuck off, give me a translated fucking earpiece, I'm here for the show. They went, no, we don't believe you'll bring it back. I went, well, you're probably on the right track there, mate. So I missed out on the scientific talks. And the show, for me, it's always good, but I enjoy it because we get to meet people. I mean, we get to see people that we see once a year, all the people from America and Canada, get to meet up with Eric, which I always enjoy. But the show with...
Who's Eric?
Eric, Garden Culture.
Hey man!
So I got to meet up with Eric, and it's always good to catch up with him. But the show, more same but the same, isn't it? There's always the same stands. So if you've never been, it really is worth going. But after you've been 3-4 times, it's a bit samey. You
can get a bit mundane, can't you?
Yeah.
That's why, for all you listeners, we was going to do a number of interviews at Barcelona, but then what we actually found ourselves happening, it was basically everybody wanted to come on the show and promote their stuff. And as you guys know, we're not into giving out free promotion if we don't think it deems worthy. Yeah. And we didn't think anybody deemed worthy at the show. So we kept it very limited, and we only done
an introduction
to Barcelona.
The V3 multi-flow system from SANlight Horticulture. Basically an introduction to the Barcelona Grow Show. And then we finished it up on Sunday afternoon with Remo. Yeah,
so we just done Remo. Basically, it was... bit of an interesting interview, bit of a grey area interview for the UK listeners as well, because obviously Remo talks a lot about cannabis, the growth of cannabis, what he does in his country because it's all legal over there. He talks about his nutrients and stuff. So it was very interesting to hear about that from somebody who is allowed to do that type of thing. I'm a big fan of Remo. I'm a friend of Remo. I've known Remo for a few years now. I've done a couple of videos and stuff with him. So I've got a lot of respect for the guy. He's got a big following on YouTube. And I was really, really pleased that he actually had 10 minutes to give to us.
Yeah,
so,
he was a busy guy over that weekend.
He's a very busy guy, and his wife as well, lovely person. They're both really, really nice people, and they're really dedicated into what they're into, and I like it. So, big shout out for Remo. Thank you very much for the interview. I know it wasn't the longest interview, and we didn't go on about everything and anything, but it was simple enough. We wanted to speak about Remo and his nutrients that he's just brought out, and I believe we covered that.
Yeah, sufficiently well.
Yeah, it was really good. But the main thing was that we just didn't want to bore you with everybody trying to throw their 50 pence worth in trying to promote a product that you've never heard of. So we kept it limited.
Yeah, and the people that would have been interested, Eric was really, really busy. We didn't have a chance to catch up with Eric. But Jorge Juventus was super busy. I spent 5 minutes with Jorge, and I was saying to him, do you fancy coming on the radio show? And he was like, man, I'd really love to, but I just haven't got the time. I've got to go and meet Barney from Barney's farm. I've got to do this and do that.
Well, when we were standing waiting to talk to him, he had like 20 people constantly pulling at his t-shirt saying, Jorge, we want an interview. But I think eventually Jorge will come and do an interview with us. He did say he would, but we just, obviously Barcelona, he's making a lot of, he's probably
booked out,
completely, filled up his thing, so we'll have to get in there early next year. We was looking out for Howard Marks, good pal of mine as well. Didn't see you, Howard, so if you was there, I'd just like to say hi, didn't get the chance to see you, and if you are listening, mate, wouldn't mind getting a little interview with you just shortly as well.
Thomas has got all your books,
yeah,
read them cover to cover, made it an easy Christmas present for me because I got him your latest one. I know Thomas, that's one of his.
Well, I have sent an email to Shanti Baba, so I should get a reply off that soon.
Well, we are working on doing some Skype interviews soon as well, because we want a Skype interview with Eric. I think Rick's going to help us sort that out.
This is Eric Columbine.
Yeah, I always just assume everyone knows which Eric
Garden Culture, the biggest
Eric.
magazine in Canada.
In the world. Yeah, since
global.
I started writing for them, they've become global.
It comes straight out to Canada, though, doesn't it?
Straight out to Canada.
Produced at Canada. Yeah. It's a very, very well-written magazine. Yeah. Very professional. Yeah. Non-biased in any way, shape or form, like ourselves.
Yeah, there's actually been some ideas of articles that he said he probably wouldn't publish because it's a non-political, non-judgmental sort of magazine, which is, it's a nice read. Yeah. It means you're going to get unbiased articles. What's next on that little list there?
Next on the list we've got...
Only printed one
Where are we up to with the root stimulator test?
Okay.
That we've been half on about.
So this root stimulator test, it started off with me writing a methodology, speaking with Nutriculture, getting the dates down to go and do the test, and then Nottingham Trent University, I was just having a little chat with the guys from there. Mark, who's the head of the agriculture department, he wanted to get the article published in an academic journal. Yeah. Probably one of the highlights of an academic's career is to get something that they've written and something that they've researched into an academic journal. So when the opportunity arose for me to do that, I took it with both hands. But that means I've had to go back to the drawing board and rewrite the whole methodology, because there's a massive difference between writing out a simple test for the listeners to get and to put in a magazine, to getting something that's going to be peer reviewed and put into an academic journal. So I finally finished the methodology, finished it this morning. It's going to get sent to Nottingham University for them to have a little look over. If they're happy with it, we're going to chat with Nutriculture, get the root stimulator test done at Nutriculture, which, since we've been chatting about it, we believe some people might not be too happy with it. Nutriculture produce House and Garden, Root Accelerator and Plant Magic.
I will be doing on the spot, what are they called? Checks, where they won't be notified of my attendance, and I will be doing checks. Don't you worry, because I will make sure this test is completely fair.
But for all those people that would have a problem with it, we've turned the Nutriculture test into something called a pilot test. So what this means is the test is still conducted properly, but what it means is that it's not the full test. A pilot test just brings up any issues that you could have when you come to do the proper test, and the proper test will be conducted at Nottingham Trent University. Okay, cool. So that's the plan. Hopefully we should see some pilot test results by the end of April, and the full data and results by, I'll say, the end of May. Okay. Gives us plenty of time to get it out there. So keep your ears peeled. That will be out soon.
Okay. ears peeled and eyes open.
Yeah. Or is it eyes peeled and ears open?
One of the other. Right, new products that are being tested, and we've been giving a little shout out about them. Is first, Spectrum King LED.
Yeah, we've had two
has
people.
Surpassed Kind LED.
Yes, definitely.
Kind LED, unfortunately.
We'll touch on that because it's not something on the list, but we may as well talk about it now and give a little heads up to all of the grow shops that listen and all of the growers that are looking to make the transition.
For anybody who's interested in buying an LED light, I'm going to tell you now.
Well,
do not buy a Kind LED light.
Yeah.
Because it's really good and it works very well. However, it will break within 2 weeks. And the aftercare of the company is absolutely appalling. It's disgusting, to be honest with you. So I'm giving a warning to everybody who's interested in LED lights. We are the #1 Kind LED supplier, and we have now discontinued the product because their aftercare is absolutely abysmal.
It's shocking.
It's really terrible.
And this has nothing to do with, there's distributors in the UK.
Yeah.
Down to Earth, Kent used to distribute.
Who do an amazing job, Richard.
And Icon still do distribute now.
Yeah, who do
and
a very good job also.
Fantastic job. It's just unfortunately the guys at Kind LED have led us down the garden path a little bit because they made promises at Coventry Grow Show and the London Grow Show saying,
it's
we'll
a shame
improve.
really because
the light's really good.
Yeah, they've got a really good product. It works. However, it doesn't work for very long, and then trying to get anything back out to the company, you may as well just go and piss in the wind. Yeah, well, and that's me being honest.
We believe if our customers have spent £1,100 on an LED...
For one light, this is £1,100 for one light.
Yeah, if something goes wrong, such as one incident is the tower's a little bit broken, not the end of the world. Yeah. You send it back to the shop and they get you your unit fixed or they get you a new unit. What we got for our customer was a different unit, a refurbished unit. It wasn't brand new because we noticed little specks and marks. It was a different unit that they'd refurbished. That is not good enough for a company that's making thousands of pounds. What I will say though is we had somebody this morning asking about LEDs, specifically Kind LEDs, and he wanted 2 of them. Now I told him about the Budmasters, I told him about the Spectrum Kings, which is what we believe. Budmaster British made, Spectrum King has got just a fantastic following. I can't praise Spectrum King enough. But this guy was adamant about Kind LED, and he basically said to me, listen, if it breaks, I'm not bothered if I have to wait 2 weeks. I've looked at the online reviews, I've done this, I've done that, I've done a lot of research, can you please get me 2? So of course, we will get him 2 LEDs, as long as I've given them the heads up that if it goes wrong, expect issues.
The only thing is the issue when he says, well, if it breaks, get it sorted within 2 weeks. Unfortunately, you won't, because it takes about 8 weeks. Yeah. Because, unfortunately, these guys do not care at all about their customer. They only care about making money and taking money from the customer, which, unfortunately, is not what we're about. It's not our ethos. Yes, we do make money, and we are a business because we have to survive. However, we will not continue to sell a product if the product doesn't respect our customer. And Kind LED have no respect for their customers. They are just pillaging and taking and taking and taking. And the success rate of these lamps is absolutely terrible. Fair enough, if maybe only one was breaking in every 20. It's 19 out of 20 that we're getting back. So it's not acceptable. So if you guys are listening to this, I'm telling you right now that your aftercare and after sales is absolutely a load of dog shit.
There's 2 ways you can follow this podcast if you've listened, and you can either get a big huff on and go, well, LPK don't know what they're talking about, they've done this.
But we do, because we actually put Kind LED on the map in the UK. We are the #1 distributor of Kind LED.
If you type in, if you're in the UK...
retailer, sorry.
Yeah. If you're in the UK, type in Kind LED Grow Light or Kind K51000 and look at the shop that comes within, I think we come top or second to top.
Either first or second.
So, and that's a really nice position to be in on Google. You type in Kind LED, which a lot of people are searching for, and we come on the top page.
I'd gladly give up that position for a product that is actually good for our customers.
Yeah, I'm
not into ripping our customers off, Stephen. I don't like it, my mate. I really don't, and it gets me back up. And I've got me back up right now against Kind LED, because I see Kind LED as con men. I am calling you a gang of con men right now. If any of you want to phone me, you know me number. It's 0151 228 8306. You can email me. You can send what you want. You know what I'm talking about. I'm sick of sending your emails and you don't reply. It's not good enough, boys. So, unfortunately, Kind LED is not going to be number one in the UK any longer. Unless you get your shit together and start respecting your customers who are spending thousands and thousands of pounds. That's enough about that rant, because there's a really... we went off track there. Yeah. I was actually talking about products that are good, not the shit ones.
Well, the first one was Spectrum King.
Spectrum King, top of the range. It's a white LED, not the fucking rainbow lights that everybody wants in the nursery. No, it's a white LED.
Fully
also,
waterproof.
We've got Tapinator. We've got Liquid Karma. We've got Charge, which is still kicking ass.
Yeah, every time someone comes in, there's always good words being said about Charge.
Nothing bad about Charge.
Super cheap, super easy to use. You need to get it in your cocoa.
Yeah, if you're not using it and you haven't got a clue what we're talking about, check the stuff out. It's Charge. Flower based by Buddhist.
We've always got to mention that. It's just, again, time again.
DNA cocoa with cork.
Just recently got that in.
Yeah, only just got that in.
Really happy with that, though.
We've seen it last year at the Grow Show, but we never really bothered with it.
Yeah.
But now we're finding a place for it in the market, and it's been doing pretty well. Bloom Ultra by...
Bloom. Yeah, people know them as the yellow bottle.
The yellow bottle.
We've been doing a few tests on that, and that one stands out to me because that first 2 weeks of flowering, when your plants can stretch a little bit, you'd add the Bloom Ultra along with flower based, and it just stops that stretching.
Well, I've not used it, Stephen, so I can't comment, but I know that you have, and you have found it to be good. But I don't really know because I haven't used it yet. Last one as well, I just wanted to mention Gavita lights. Really taking stride now in Liverpool, especially the 600-750E.
Yeah, exactly that one.
Yeah, is that the dual-ended bulb?
That's the one.
Okay. If you don't know what we're talking about, get in contact and we'll tell you a bit more. But we're just scanning over the top products that we've been seeing.
Give you some information to go and do some further research.
Yeah. Moving on, summer. We've got the summer coming up, I think. It's still cold outside. It's still raining.
Yeah, it's quite nice today, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is actually. We've been out on the motorbike today, haven't we?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've just come over on the Yamaha YZF R1.
My first time on the back of a superbike.
Yes.
It was hairy, to say the least.
I think I've still got his fingernails embedded into my stomach right now.
Yeah, and some in the petrol container on the front. But
yeah, as I say, we're coming up to our sunnier months. So we, as you guys all know, we do our allotment projects. The Instagram, we have a lot of pictures on there. So just make sure you keep an eye on our media and watch what's going on with our various products and stuff. Interaction. Let's give a shout out to the US.
Okay. Oh yeah, because the interactions from the US have been phenomenal. It seems to me that as the US subscribership grows, we get more and more messages just off really lovely messages, and it really does make our day.
To be honest with you, Stephen, we got a message the other week, and I was really pleased by it. Really, really pleased.
You called me actually, didn't you?
Yeah, I called Stephen straight away. So, what was the guy's name? Was it John?
John.
John, where was he based?
In Colorado.
John, big shout out for our pal, John in Colorado. He's part of the MPK team. Hi, how are you doing, John?
Was that your Colorado specific accent?
That was an attempt for John. But yeah, he gave us a really good message.
Yeah, really nice. He basically said that he likes the way that we don't pull our punches. We tell it honestly as it is, and it just really makes our day, because obviously we don't have sponsorship. We don't have people paying us to do this podcast.
Yeah.
We do it for free because we love what we do.
Yeah.
And he basically said, keep it up. Yeah. Really like what you're doing. And it just adds fire to our bellies to carry on doing what we're doing.
It gives like a big pat on the back off John all the way from Colorado, and that was well received, John, so really appreciate that. Also, John's also sent us. He's made
this template. So what he's really interested in is, years ago when he's grown the tomatoes and the strawberries, he's really interested in the money that he spent to the money that he could get out over like 4 or 5 year periods.
Cost effective.
Yeah. And now with all the legalization in Colorado, he's now transferred it to the growing of cannabis.
Okay.
So the money in compared to the money out. I don't know what he does with it.
Yeah.
But he likes his big passion is cost effectiveness.
Okay.
So he's sending us this little table to show you the money that you spend compared to the money that you get out, and so I'm looking forward to seeing what that
Okay, well,
does.
what we will do, we will dedicate a show to John and his cost effectiveness and how we can utilise in cost and make those pennies just stretch that little bit extra.
Yeah.
That's what we'll do for you.
Yeah, I think
so
that'll be
big
a
shout
good
out to
podcast.
John. Thank you very much for getting in touch with us.
And thank you to, it's all the US guys that are sending us messages. We get a lot of messages. John sent us a big message, so you're getting a shout out. But thank you to everyone that just says, keep up the hard work, really like your show. We get those Facebook messages and Instagram and all over social media.
Well,
and I want I want the UK listeners to do a bit more.
But in all honesty, to be honest with you, US are kicking ass at growing. They really are. They really enjoy growing. They love growing. They watch shows. They listen to podcasts. They read magazines. Where us bloody Brits on this little tiny island think we know everything. And don't bother to read anything and look and get it interactive. So, you know, take a leaf out of the guys in the US because these are really advanced in what they're doing. I mean, some of their grow stores are like the size of Walmart. For instance. So, it'd be good if the UK could take on a small bite-sized piece of what the US are doing right now, because those guys over there, they're just living the life of paradise. They really are. And hopefully one day when my visa gets accepted, I will be over to see you and immerse myself in your grow ethos and your society.
And bring it back to us in the UK. What's on the last bit of the list? I forgot to print a second one.
Well, you can read the last couple of pointers out. What do you want to hear from MPK Live?
Yes. So
what does the people want from us?
So this will probably be the US will message us the most, but I'd love to hear from the guys in the UK, because I know that you're listening, because I see the subscriber stats, I see all the amount of times it gets downloaded, I know that you're all listening. Send us a little message, because we want to know what you want to hear on MPK Live. It's all well and good me thinking of topics and Thomas thinking of topics that we're interested in, but what are you interested in? We do this show for you.
We would like you to ask us a topic maybe that we're not really any good at and we don't really know much about, but we'll try. We'll investigate it.
Yeah. And we can go away and do the research and find out for you. So one of the things I'm researching at the moment is PGRs, plant growth regulators.
Yeah, which are
well, good or bad.
Steroids for plants. That illegal steroids in the UK for plants, that's what they are.
So I'd say the majority of people think that they're bad.
Yeah.
But why do you think they're bad? Is it because your mate said that they were bad?
No, it's because the law deems them illegal. So everything that the law deems illegal is bad. Well, it's because the government control us like a fucking pawn on a chessboard.
Well, some PGRs are bad. They cause cancer in people through consumption of the fruit and veg, but some of them don't. So what can we use and what's bad and what's good? Well, I'm looking into that, and we'll be talking about that in a few weeks' time. But let us know, what are you interested in, and we'll talk about it. Now, before we sign off for this week, we're doing like a bit of a mini-series, a couple of mini-series, aren't we?
Yeah.
So normally we just talk about, we pick a topic and we do the research and we talk about it. So some of the side shows in the mini-series that me and Thomas will be doing is Science versus Skeptic. I will be the science and Thomas be the skeptic. So we'll be covering the whole range of hydroponics, whether it's from media and tents and pH and EC and environment, the whole host of it. We'll do Science versus Skeptic. One, me, the scientist, who believes that you should accurately monitor pH, and maybe the skeptic who thinks, well, I've never really monitored pH and I've been doing just fine. Not necessarily Thomas's beliefs, but he's going to be playing the role of the skeptic on the show.
Playing the role of the skeptic.
Some future ones that we want to be doing is the hydroponics magazines. You've got Garden Culture, you've got Hydromag, you've got Maximum Yield. They're the three big ones. You've got also CANNA does a publication. Botanica does a very small publication. But the big ones, Garden Culture, Hydromag, and Maximum Yield, they've got really good articles. If you don't manage to get your hands on one of the papers, myself and Thomas will be doing a review of every magazine that comes out from now on, and giving our opinions on some of the articles that are published in there. And so that's us for the next few weeks. Next week is when we're going to start Science versus Skeptic. Still haven't decided on the topic yet, But
we're still doing some investigation into it, trying to get some good pointers for
Well, I've been
guys.
trying to do it for 2 weeks, but Thomas keeps on saying it's not quite good enough yet. We need to make this a really good one, so it's been put on hold until we've got it nailed on.
So just a big thanks once again to all our listeners.
Yeah, thank you again. Follow us and subscribe if you don't want to miss out. Follow us on the Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We're active on all social media. If you're into pictures, it's your Instagram. If you're into knowledge, it's your Facebook. If you're into short and snappy, get us on Twitter.
Or if you just want to send us a load of hate mail, just post it and we'll just read it and laugh.
Or knickers.
Yeah. Anything.
Knickers in the post.
Yeah. Don't tell Steve's missus.
No, you lip read that to me to say it.
Well, thank you very much, listeners, and we will speak to you soon.
Yeah, be back next week.
Yeah.
Take care.
Bye-bye.